It does taste nice.
You can make us another one in the break, because it's very noisy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's okay.
Thanks both of you very much.
You're so welcome.
Don't forget, Susie's taking your
she's
calls
indeed.
today, so if you've got a nutritional or a dietary question, why not give her a call? The number, even on camera 4, is right there on your screen. OK, though, now it's time to find out how you can alleviate the pain of arthritis. Here to tell us how is alternative healer Stephen Howrie. Is that right?
Hi. Howrie, yes, Steve Howrie, yes.
Very good to meet you.
Quite well.
Very nice to be here.
We're very tarty at the moment, because
All
those
right.
juices were great. I mean, arthritis is a huge problem, isn't it?
It's a huge problem, and it affects all age ranges, from 1 and 2 year olds right up to very old people.
That surprised me when I found that out,
Yeah,
because
but
it's
you can
something
have it
you...
so young.
Yeah, it is.
Is it not very dangerous, though, to try and do it yourself, Steve, with anything like arthritis?
No, not at all, no. It's a question of understanding the cure in the first place, and the cure is very simple. If you do it yourself, all you're doing is changing to a healthy way of eating and a healthy way of thought. I mean, even if it didn't cure arthritis, which it certainly does, it would be a healthy lifestyle anyway. It's the lifestyle that people all over the earth in many different countries, particularly the eastern countries, live. Shall I just explain how it works?
Yeah, please do.
All at the joints, every joint in the human body needs lubrication. It's like any machine. Well, that lubrication has to be renewed constantly. And if it's not, then there's a problem, because the lubricant goes stale and it crystallizes. So it has to be renewed. Now, what can malfunction is the pancreas and the marrow in the bones. If the lubricant's not flowing, then you've got a problem, and that's what arthritis is. You start getting inflammation around the joints, it starts getting pain and a swelling. Now, the cause of the lubricant not coming to the joints is therefore to see what you're eating, first of all, and secondly, your state of mind. Now,
So what kind of foods, then, should you not be eating and should be eating?
Right.
Because presumably it's a bit of both, is it?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's any foods from an animal, any animal foods. And that's because they all contain parasites, minute parasites. And it's those parasites that, while the animal's living, they're actually caretaking for the animal. It's the same with you and I. We've all got these parasites in our body, and they're looking after us, and we need those for a defence. But as soon as we die, they change their program, and then they start breaking down the flesh they're within. Now, if you take a piece of meat, whether it's a cow or a sheep or a pig, into your body, those little parasites, they don't know any difference between your flesh and the flesh they're on.
Is that an unrealistic thing for life, though? Because not everybody wants to lead a vegetarian or a vegan lifestyle. Would you say, but if you are suffering and you realise you've got the symptoms, then it's a good way to start? I mean, maybe it is ideal if you're prepared to go down that route, but not everybody is, are they?
No, it's got to be a choice, and I think
Yeah.
people should have the choice. But it's understanding, you know, what is meat and what are dairy products. Are we meant to eat them in the first place? And we don't think so. I'd say no. Man is not a hunter, as they say. Man is meant to eat vegetation, fruits, fish, grains, pulses. There's so many things to eat.
So it's not necessarily giving up all kinds of meat. Fish is fine.
Fish is fine.
Pulses are fine.
Yes, and
It's very much
any
like the diet that
vegetation.
Susie was talking about before, isn't it?
There's a lot in common with what Susie says.
Have the fish not got the same parasites in them?
Oh,
when they
fish,
die?
yes, fish have parasites, but it's a different type of flesh. When you cook fish, you'll see it breaks down very much quickly, and it's different. It's different from your own flesh. I mean, it's the same with fruit. Everything has these little parasites in, but it's a question of the similarity between your flesh and animals.
So, you ingest these parasites
Yes.
then, and they start to break down your actual flesh?
If your own hope, because you've got your own defence mechanism, of
Yeah.
course, and for most of the time that's pushing out these other parasites, and everything seems all right. That's why people can go for years and they haven't got any disease, and then suddenly they get a disease.
So in what way does that lead to arthritis, though? Is it that it breaks down the lubricant?
lubricant.
It's because they attack the pancreas, which is sending the lubricant to the joints, and also attack the bone marrow. That's the reason.
You talked as well about not just eating and what you
Yes.
do and don't eat. You talked about how the stress of life.
That's right, the stress of life. Well, all arthritics have the same characteristic of tension. They're always under tension. And tension is caused by worry. If you worry, you become tense. You know, you're driving a car and your hands are like this on the steering wheel, going white-knuckled. Well, that's putting pressure here on your joints. Any pressure like that is going to stop the lubricant flowing correctly. So that's the secondary factor. Then you just have to say, OK, well, it's very easy to say, don't worry, because people say, oh, don't worry, and don't worry, be happy, but is it that easy? Well, it is, because you actually choose to worry. People choose to worry. And we have to say, well...
If you've got, like, you know, somebody banging on doors out for money and you haven't got rent and you haven't got out to eat,
oh, yeah.
you can't not worry, can you, you know?
Yes, I know what you're saying, yes. I mean, but it's how you view that thing, because you actually have to have a practical view to life, and you have to do something about it. You see, worrying itself doesn't achieve anything.
Yeah, so be practical about the problems rather than just worry.
You can worry about everything. You can worry about what I'm going to wear tonight, you know, what my next meal is going to be, where am I going out tonight, you know. You can worry about everything, but it doesn't achieve anything, the worry itself. I'm not talking about compassion at all. I'm talking about actual worry, which doesn't do anything.
So those are two simple steps that you think, if people are sufferers and if they're having problems and they're struggling, if they tried both of those things, you would say they would see a result?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. One of the first things we've noticed, because we've been dealing with people for the last 20 years who've come to us with arthritis, and the first thing you notice is the pain goes. But just a note on pain. Pain is actually a good thing, in that it's an indication that something's wrong in your body. And it means, look, there's something wrong here. You've got to do something about it. To just take away the pain with a drug or, you know, whatever, a tablet, it's not a good idea, because you're disconnecting that signal from the brain to the part, to you.
But before you actually sort of do anything, though, it is very important to actually go and see your doctor before you embark on any alternative kind of a...
Well, I know that other people say that, but I wouldn't say that, simply because I think it's time people took their own health into their own hands. And by the number of people that have come to us, we know that people want an alternative, and they want to look after their own health. And they want to say, OK, I can go to my doctor, but wait a minute, there's all different types of doctors. There's alternative health practitioners, you know, there's standard ones, there's health, there's even spiritual healers, if you want to go to that. But there's all different, it's like a little shop, you know, and people should make their own decision. I think it's time everybody's got their own common sense. Why don't we let people use it, you know, instead of treating them as idiots?
I think we still say, I mean, particularly doctors like Dr. Chris, there are many doctors around that work with alternative therapies. Only earlier on today who was talking about hypnosis. So your doctor's a good place to start, and then I think, you know, to back it up with helping yourself is very important as well, isn't it? Without a doubt.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Now then, time for a short break now, but coming up, it's the health phone-in, so we'll see you then.
Bye-bye.